Luke, in light of the NCAA turmoil, it has to be asked, have you known at all about any violations, past or present, any current or former players or coaches who broke any NCAA rules?
You know, I can honestly say that where I wasn't going to say that I had blinders on, but very focused on the task at hand, and I was not informed of any information until it became public knowledge.
Yeah, Luke, you spoke of this being your dream, basically your dream job, etc. Is this a very tough situation to walk into, though? Just assess the challenge you do face.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but I told you before that if they told you had one shot, and if you know me, there's no retreat. There's never been any challenges that I wouldn't accept, big or small. You know, and I've had this dream and this plan, and I'm excited for it.
Luke. And if I could ask if you could state your name and affiliation too. Thank you.
Luke, Dave Biddle from Bucknuts.com. You have one full-time opening on your staff. Have you given much thought to that? Can you give us some insight on how you might address that?
We have. At this moment, we have not done anything just yet. I think here soon in the near future, we'll address that. We'll address the duties and responsibilities that they would change soon, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again and lay all that out for everybody.
Will it definitely be a defensive coach, or a chance it might be an offensive coach?
In our mind right now, it's definitely going to be a defensive coach.
Luke, Adam Jardy with Buckeye Sports Bulletin. Can you take us through maybe the first 24, 48 hours when you learned of Coach Tressel's resignation? What were the first maybe 3 or 4 things that you had to accomplish, and what did you have to do for the first 48 hours or so?
You know, that's kind of unique because we didn't have any idea until that morning. And I wasn't afforded that opportunity to sit and think. That was the unique situation. It happened fast. Mr. Smith asked me to step in. I didn't have a whole lot of time to step back and think about the situation. We knew we had to hit the ground running. We had the team together that night. So all we wanted to do was make sure we could stand up tall, show some support, show some leadership, and most importantly, focus on our kids because we knew how they would feel to make sure that they were okay.
Luke, Doug Lamerise with the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Did you ever feel in the past that the staff was too lax in monitoring player behavior? And going forward, what will you and your staff do to stay on top of that, to monitor that and monitor potential compliance issues?
No. You know, the interesting thing about all that is sometimes we're focused at the task at hand, but it still comes back to our education process. We're going to continue to educate our guys. We understand that we are going to deal with compliance. We're going to go through this situation thoroughly and methodically so that we can figure out what is best and the best ways in which we can handle this stuff for the future. Because again, we got to plan for the future.
Are there any specific steps, though, that you think we need to do this better or this better in terms of that kind of stuff?
We have some ideas, but again, I think this is going to be a thorough, methodical situation because I'm not sure that there's one quick solution right now. I know that we're going to step up some monitoring ideas, but for right now, we just know that we're going to take it thoroughly and methodically so that we can make sure we get this right.
Yeah, Luke, Tim May, Columbus Dispatch. With that in mind, though, have you had any kind of meetings that talk with your players at all about what has happened and basically your feelings on that going forward?
We've talked to the guys, and what we've stressed to them right now is about respect. Respect for one another, respect for each other, respect for the past, respect for you guys. We told them we all love it after we score a touchdown and there's a microphone shoved in our face. But it's a little bit different when it's an adverse situation. So what we've really focused to them on, hey, let's make sure we have respect for one another and figure out where we can get better in the future.
On the left over here.
Luke in the back. Kenny Rohde, ESPN Cleveland. Have you talked with Jim Tressel about this job, and what advice, with everything that he's been through, good and bad, has he given you as you approach this job?
You know, I spoke with him that night, and really the only thing he could give me right now was our support. He said he really gave us the support for me, for the whole entire coaching staff, for our players. And the biggest probably thing that he had given me, as well as all the other coaches that I've actually had an opportunity to sit down or talk to, is be yourself. And I think he respected the situation enough to say he has support for all of us, as well as to be yourself.
To the right.
Paul Keels, WBNS Radio. Luke, now that there's a different element of the quarterback situation, how do you look at that with the 4 guys involved now?
To me, that's the exciting thing about this whole situation. Every year, guys are going to graduate, guys are going to leave early. There's going to be situations like that. We got an exciting situation for Cameron Hayward to be gone, for Ross Holman, for all kinds of guys. I think that's the exciting thing about fall camp. We've got 4 great guys. They're going to be competitive, to put them out there, to give them their opportunities for the reasons which they came to Ohio State, and to see who can raise their level of competition and compete, and who we can count on.
To the left of her.
Congratulations, Luke. Munch Bishop, ESPN Cleveland. Treasure your intensity. We all know as defense goes, Ohio State goes. What do the Silver Bullets mean to you personally? What do they mean to your coaching philosophy?
Well, again, that's where I grew up. That's what I believe in. But I think the unique thing for me is I want to make sure that we all understand that it's about one. We've talked about that as coaches. We talked about that to our team with that all-in mentality. I'm not just going to be about the Silver Bullets as much as I was in the past. But my experiences of being a part of the special teams, of being a part of the defense, now I get to be a part of the offense as well. And the thing that I can offer them is just like we've always offered them, is support. To show that I care about each and every one of them and that we are all one together. That's the biggest emphasis.
Over to the right.
Ken Gordon, Columbus Dispatch, Luke.
Ken.
Just wanted to ask about recruiting. I know you were on that almost as soon as you got the job and had a kind of infamous interaction there within the first 48 hours. But what is your concern in that regard in terms of, obviously, publicity hasn't been good, maybe outside of Ohio, what kids are hearing about Ohio State, and how have you and your staff kind of tried to combat that?
Well, we aren't worried about it. I think that's the most important thing. We've always sold Ohio State, and that's what we're trying to tell these kids day in and day out. It's about something so much bigger than what they read or what they see. We just need to get them here to make sure that they understand that. We still have all the faith and confidence in our coaching staff, our players that are here. We want to make sure that they understand that we've got a plan for the future, and that's what we've tried to express to them. To know that it's about something so much greater than just one situation, one player, or one coach. We've recruited like that for the last 10 years, and we truly believe that Ohio State will continue to attract the best student athletes around the country.
Have you noticed it's been a little tougher since the last 2 weeks, or you noticed a change?
What we've stressed to those kids is we're looking for a few good men, and ones that can stand up and understand what Ohio State is all about. And that's what we stress to them. It's about something bigger than this situation. It's about something bigger than a coach. And that's what we're going to hammer home with them continually.
To the left here, front row.
Luke, Clay Hall, ABC 6, Fox 28. As I told you before, I think a lot of people are rooting for you, but the thing that folks ask me all the time, is Luke going to get a fair shot? I mean, you're taking the job under some duress here. How do you respond to that?
I would take the shot in any way that I possibly can. We all know here at Ohio State, all eyes are on you each and every year. That doesn't worry me one bit. We stress to our kids, that's the most important thing to me, is that our kids have faith and confidence, and they know who we are, and they know where we're headed, and that they understand that we've got a plan for the future.
To the right.
Adam with Buckeye Sports Bulletin again. To follow up on that, how will the interim tag affect things as you go forward? Will that impact your decision making at all as you look at position battles and things like that, where maybe you feel pressure to win now to say that you want to be the guy permanently?
Ohio State's expectations will not change. Whether there's a tag on the name or there's not a tag on their name or there's a long-term contract, it doesn't matter. Year in and year out, we understand. That's what I talked about in the beginning. We will embrace the expectations of being a Buckeye, and we know what that brings with it.
To the left here.
Luke, how damaged do you think this program is right now by what has gone on? And what have your emotions been through this? Have you been angry about the situation, frustrated? Is this part of life in big-time college football? How have you emotionally faced this?
I'm a Buckeye through and through. And yes, it hurts at times, but we all understand the situation. And the most important thing for us right now is that we focus on the things that which we can control. We focus on what we have and not what we've lost. So we're going to continue to move the program forward and make sure that we understand that we're going to focus on those things. But I'm not saying I'm not disappointed, I'm not upset. But again, we're moving forward.
To the right.
Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. Jim Tressel had certain things he was known for with this program. What is the stamp you want to put on the program, and whether it was integrity with him, or where do you stand on that?
Probably kind of said it in the beginning. All right, we're going to focus in 3 areas. It's going to be about respect, toughness, and being men of action. We're going to continue to focus on that daily. And we believe that's our success. That will lead us to the future.
To the left here.